How's it going, guys? Cody back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys. Right, so guys, have you seen, like if you look back at the old videos, I used to just sit here and just talk down the camera, right? And then I've started doing all this prison news, which is cool because I'm keeping you guys up to date with current affairs and stuff, reference prison and crime and stuff like that. But I've gone away from the organic nature of the rawness of the realness from the start. So I'm going back to that for this video. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about violence. Now, I'm bearing my soul a bit here. It's embarrassing. There's like, it doesn't paint me in a good light in other ways, but like it'll balance itself out. And the thing is with this video, I've got nearly 9,600 subscribers, right? Which is crazy because like 4 months ago, I only had like 2,200. So yeah, guys, violence. Now, I'm going to the University of Salford a week on Wednesday to speak to the criminology students. That is going to be the second time I've been there, and it's going to be on desistance, this one. But then in early 2019, I'm going back on a violence module. And violence is like, now some people are narrow-minded and think, oh, well, you're a criminal, so that just meant you committed violence against other people. Because that's what they see. They see the crimes. They don't see the root cause of offending. Now, my root cause of offending when it came to like violence in my criminality, like I say, I'm violent, you're violent, we've been victims of violence, we've gone on to carry out violence on other people and stuff. It's a vicious circle. But it all my violence definitely stemmed from my early childhood. I was born in Huddersfield, guys, on the 15th of December 1983. I was like I was raised obviously my mum and my dad, and then I didn't see him from like the age of 3. And yeah, I was raised with 2 other sisters, but like I was a naughty kid. I came below the cat in the pecking order and stuff. So I used to play up to get attention, and I used to get beat for that, and then like really badly. But I don't mean like a slap here. I mean from the age of, I'd say 8, 9, I was getting cracked and stuff, and my mum even broke my nose on one occasion, and I was locked in a room. I was beaten. I was starved. I had to go to the toilet in a bucket. When that bucket was full, I was dragged into the bathroom. It was poured over my head, and then I'd have to clean up the mess. And you can imagine there's quite a lot of it. I was going to school. I was being bullied at school. I wasn't always, like I'm a big guy now, 6'4", 20+ stone, which doesn't count for anything in the real world because Mike Tyson was only small, but it was dangerous, do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, I wasn't always a big guy. I was a very skinny little weedy kid. And like, I wasn't so much bullied in primary school because I was like, I get like comments and people trying to bully me because like I had big ears, for example, like my ears, I had my ears pinned back actually. But like, then I moved to this school, like Bealvale School in Shaw. And I was like the star of the football team and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But before that, I was being bullied at school, called taxi doors, big ears, Dumbo. Used to like make myself physically sick. Really didn't want to go to school, man, because I was just petrified. And then like I was going home, I was getting beaten and stuff like that, and like she was like just violence, man. And then at school it was bully, but then when it came to secondary school, that's where people knocking into me and trying to charge me and stuff like that. And I had a lot of anger from a very young age anyway, right? And what happened was in year 7 at Royton Crompton School near Oldham, I was being bullied there again, guys, yeah. And in year 7 or year 8, I can't remember. I think it was year 7 or year 8. I can't remember. No, I think it was year 8. What ended up happening is the cock of the year, right? He barged into me to cause a fight. Now, I just started boxing at the age of 11. And I had a lot of anger inside me. And I don't know why this day, but I thought, you know what? I ain't going to be no victim no more. And you know what, guys? I fought back and I levered this kid bad. Like, not bad, but I beat him convincingly, right? And not many people knew that I had that in me, especially me. And from that age, I realized from that moment, from that moment, I felt like the weight had been lifted off me, the shackles were off me. And I just realized from that moment that violence was a good tool to control people and so that people didn't mess with me. Now, I say that to my shame and to my detriment and stuff. But the thing is, was I out and out violent, or was I just a product of my environment? Because I personally believe I was a product of my environment. I felt demasculated for so long, and then when I had this fight in year 7, I think it was year 8, and I ended up absolutely fighting back and battered this kid. And that was it. The shackles were off, and I was like a free man. But the thing is, then, like every time I'd fight, I'd have to keep going. I'd go to the extreme so that people think, you know what, I don't want to mess with him. He's a bit crazy. He's a bit of a psycho or something. So that people left me alone, and it was a defense mechanism because I didn't want people to bully me or attempt to bully me. And that was the way it was. I ended up getting kicked out of that school. I went to a school in Rochdale called Spring Hill High School in Phil. Very mixed school, very mixed population and stuff like cultures, Muslims, Asians, Muslims, same thing. Yeah, Muslims, like Hindus, Sikhs, white, like Christians. It was a very crazy mix. I didn't really have any trouble there. I was more the class clown and stuff. But like, I was drinking on a weekend and stuff like that. I was drinking. I was only like when I was allowed out my room and stuff, I was drinking, getting drunk with the boys, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I was boxing every Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday and Thursday at Tara Leisure in Shore. And I just realised that violence is a very, very good thing. And I go to the extreme of it. And then as I got older and stuff like that, and you start to fill out and put on weight. I was on steroids. I was in the gym. I was a big guy. I started doing the doors and stuff. Now, the thing is, what I can't stand, and I still can't stand to this day, is bullies. And if I see someone bullying someone on the street, or two guys trying to fight with one guy on the street, I'm getting involved. Not because I'm not because I'm trying to be an hero or I'm E-man or anything. Because my perception is that I was bullied, so I'm not going to let someone else be bullied right in front of me. No, no, no. And then when I worked on the doors, right, a lot of doormen are like pumped full of steroids, and they think they're God's gift to women, and they think they can hammer the world. I wasn't like that. I was angry. I had a lot of anger in me. But back in that day, like, if someone swung for me, like, or like it was going to go off, and so it was obvious it was going to fight, I wouldn't ask questions. I'd just bang the person out, and then or just get the first punch in there and go from there. But never in a bully sense. I would never manhandle a passive person because I'm not a bully. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, obviously, when I was socialising and stuff, I've been the drunk person that's been kicked out of venues. So when these people come to me and I'm like sober, I wouldn't like be like a power mad bully or anything. I used to help people and look after people and stuff. But if someone wanted to fight, then you fucking have it, and it's as simple as that. And you can't really see, but like I've been stabbed up. You can see a scar there and stuff, and been like people pulling blades on me and stuff like that. I've been stabbed in the hands and stuff. People tried to stab me. I used to wear bulletproof vest on the door, which is obviously stopping knives and firearms. But yeah, it was a very violent culture and stuff like that. And like I say, but not in a bully way. I despise bullies. And then like the violence thing, you get a reputation as a bit of a loose cannon and stuff like that. And you traded on that reputation, and then that reputation took me into criminality. I earned money from the violence that I was capable of, because it goes a long way. The end goal, the first goal, and the end goal when you're involved in criminality is money at the end of the day. And I would go further than other people, but not as far as others. But I was very, very dangerous when I was losing my... If I was fighting with someone, and a lot of you guys will be able to relate to this, like, I used to get the stereotypical cliche red mist. And when I got that red mist, the reality was I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't aware of my surroundings. I just zoned in on the person that I wanted to do in, and I would just give it everything. And that was the way it was and stuff. And then, like I say, through doing the doors, I became, like, through being violent and stuff, I became involved with a drug gang. And I say that to my shame again. Drugs killing people, and it's wrecking families and stuff, and it's not good. But I couldn't see the wood for the trees at the time. My criminality, it was all about financial gain. As an older, wiser head now, I'm ashamed of that life. But then the violence then led me on to debt collecting and stuff. And again, I'm not trying to say to you I'm a big E-man and blah blah blah. No, I'm not doing that. I'm saying to you, like I was a victim. I was a victim to start off with, both by my mum and my stepdad. I was beaten profusely, and I mean badly, guys. Like, locked in my room. It was psychological torture. Hot meals placed on the outside the door so I could smell it but not get to it. Violence that was carried out against me was off the scale. And then I was being bullied at school, coming home, bullied at fighting at school, and people attacking me at school, going home, getting beat. So I was desensitized, guys, to violence and stuff. And I was quite numb to it. And it was all I knew. And I literally, like, I grew up very angry. I used to plan to, like, I'd become obsessed. If someone did me wrong, I'd become obsessed with hurting that individual. I used to plan to, like, kill them and stuff like that, which I say to my shame, guys. Like I say, I'm talking about, like, my younger years and stuff. But yeah, I'd snap and stuff. I become hell bent on getting that person, and I would do anything to get that person. And once I got my hands on them, that was it. I'd be battering them, but, like, in my mind, and playing like a movie of all the people that have ever hurt me. Now that sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it was. That's just the way it went. And like I said, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'm not the hardest guy in the world. I'm nobody. Do you know what I mean? I'm just a kid like you guys. But like those that carry out the most extreme violence, I guarantee a lot of it stems from their childhood. Whether they're grown up in care, they've been passed from pillar to post, they was beaten profusely, behavioural problems, you know what I mean? Before offenders were ever offenders, guys, it was first victims. And then, like I say, I was doing the doors and then I became involved with a drug gang, and then next minute I'm debt collecting for these drugs gangs because I'm steadied out my fucking head, and I just had a reputation for violence, and I would go to the extreme to get paid, and I'd have to. And again, I say that to my shame and to my detriment and stuff. I'm not a big hard man or anything. I did what I had to do in that situation to survive. Then, like I say, then I was a head doorman at a club in Ashton-under-Lyne called Legends. Became involved with a gooch gang. They was in the club. I got told it was a local gang, and then I was we backed them on a door this night because there was only 2 of them, and there was like these other rivals and stuff, but they wasn't carrying any weapons or anything. And we just backed up the gang lads and stuff, and we ended up fucking these kids up and stuff. And then there was a healthy respect there, and they said, look, we want to sell drugs in the club exclusively. I said, well, I want to make a backhander. They give me a backhander. I searched people for drugs, took the drugs off the people, and then sold them to the gang at half the price, the retail price that the drug would go for. Example, at the time, a gram of Bash 1-to-1 coke was £40 a gram. So I'd sell it to them for 20. I'm making 20, they're making 20 when they sell it, and stuff like that. And then I was getting my backhander on top. So that was another thing, you know what I mean? Violent people mixing together, running in them circles. Again, carried on working at doors and stuff, worked all over, Batley, Blackpool, Oldham, Rochdale, Manchester, just worked all over, man. And again, when you're doing a door and stuff, if your colleague's getting, like, someone's gone for your colleague on a door, you get involved. Again, violence is everywhere, guys. And like I say, it could be domestic violence, it could be, like, you become like someone mugs you in the street, that's violence. And then it could be 2 warring factions that just go at each other, fucking fighting. Like say, police are assaulting you, you're getting arrested by the police are twisting you up, violence, you're then fighting back. Do you know what I mean? It's just violence. Violence is a big part of a lot of people's criminality. And like I say, some people have got such bad tempers that they are walking psychopaths, the walking murderers. They are literally, if they don't have someone there that can calm them down, they could very easily beat a man to death. And we're not just talking, when you talk violence, what we seem to do is we seem to just, oh, it's men. It's just men that carry out violence. Are you fucking crazy? Women are psychos, mate, at the best of times. I speak to a girl from Liverpool, prisoner's girlfriend, right? Little petite thing, right? Fucking cool as fuck to chat to. Fucking mad as a box of frogs. Her and her fellow can't live together, they can't live without each other, but the 2 entwined people that have just come together and stuff, and it works, and that's wicked to see. And like I say, it is absolutely mental and stuff like that. Fiery people, I attract feisty, fiery people. Like if you show me 1,000 women and they say, right, pick one woman, she's going to be a fireball, because that's my mentality. That's what I go for. You're not enjoying it when you say, hey, I like feisty, fiery women, and then trying to punch your fucking head in and all that, and you're ducking and diving and weaving and stuff. You know what I mean, with a gum shield on and your fucking mitts and stuff and your gloves on. But yeah, women are very violent. You see cases where it's women that are carrying out domestic abuse. But people stereotype and think, oh, it's normally men. Now, ordinarily, it probably is, guys. I don't know the percentage down to a T. But yeah, like, I used to, my violence was such part of me. Do you know what, right? I used to, and I say this to my shame again, and you guys will relate, right? I used to be able to go out and hurt somebody, and I could go to bed and sleep like a baby. And that is the craziest thing. I couldn't do what I was doing back then now because I've grown a conscience. You know what I mean? When I was remorseless and like, just like angry and remorseless, I could do what I did. I had no empathy. I couldn't make emotional connections with people and stuff like that. And I still struggle now. Like, it's once in a blue moon that I'll make a connection with someone and I'm like, wow, that's just off the scale. But I don't really have empathy for situations and stuff like that. But as I've got older and stuff and I've matured, I definitely have. Prison, violence, man, the violence in prison. Prison's a very volatile, very violent situation. You've got a lot of men that before there was ever offenders, there was first victims, right? And we've all struggled and we've all had shit lives and stuff, and different things makes us tick at different times. If you've had a row with your bird, you could just look for an excuse. Someone will come and go, bam, you're smashing their head in because someone could have stolen your food, or like someone's stolen out your pad, or someone's taking liberties because you owe you a debt and stuff, and he said they pay you, and it's been doubled and doubled, because if you borrow something in prison, you've got to give double back, double trouble. So yeah, prison violence is everywhere, and the way that prison is, it actually makes people more violent than when they went in, for the most part. And because in prison, if someone drops it on your toes, you're not a fighter, you're going to be a victim. So you've got to fight back. If someone tries to mug you off, or like demasculate you and like put you down or something, you have got to fight. If you're not a fighter, you're going to become a victim, and you'll end up just being terrorized. You'll end up locking off behind your door, and your head will fall off. But you've got to fight. It is fight or flight. And if you were a weak victim in the prison team, and you're not a fighter or something, and you're in the prison wing and stuff, you're going to become a victim. It's where the strong thrive, and the weaker people of the thingy like struggle to survive. And it's just a way. And then you've got contraband in prison, and then like obviously where you've got contraband, you've got debt. Where you've got debt, we've got to go back to violence, fear, intimidation, bullying, and violence. It's such part of life and stuff. And with fewer police on the streets now, since comparable records began in 1996, under this conservative government and stuff, the streets are lawless, guys. Community police stations are closed down, frontline policing has been decimated, police response times are down, crimes are going uninvestigated and unsolved, and even uninvestigated. It's crazy, guys, but that is the reality. You see knife crime in this country. People getting shanked up because they're from a different estate, because they're from the 2 streets over, and there's a gang operating in that thing. We have fallen into the American sort of nisms of gangs and gang culture, the Bloods and the Crips, and do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, we've sort of copied. Then you've got postcode gangs, you've got, like I say, you've got moped gangs. They're doing what they're doing on mopeds and stuff. They're on graphs and stuff. It's a very violent society we live in, and with fewer police on the streets, and the fact that prison doesn't work, the way that prisons currently are, like, prison rehabilitation does not take place in prison. People would like to think it does, but look at the reoffending rates, guys. Reoffending costs the taxpayer £13.5 to £15 billion a year annually. So people are going to prison, they're already desensitized. They're on the brink of being dehumanized. It makes them more disenfranchised than when they enter the system. It's creating monsters, and it's churning monsters out into the streets. And they're like, well, I can't get a job because I'm a fucking ex-con. So what is there for me to do being a former criminal? Oh, well, I'll just go, well, there's fewer police on the streets. So I'll go back to doing what I'm doing. I'll go back to violent crime. I make criminal connections in prison. When you're in prison, guys, sounds silly because we've been caught, but it's like a university for criminals. You might have been caught for one crime, but you've got away with thousands or hundreds or 50. And then you end up getting caught for one. Then you're in prison and you're making criminal connections, and boys become boys, and then you've got contacts then, and it actually germinates the problem and makes the problem worse. Like I say, violence is at every turn, and like I say, I've been a victim of violence from a very early age, from both my personal life at home, being bullied at school, to then growing into to become a big man mountain sort of guy, big guy, and like being that person as well. And like I say, it's just, again, working where I've done security for like wrestlers and stuff and actors and stuff, right? It's, you're protecting people, but if someone tries to intercept that, you've got to perpetuate violence. And it's at every corner, and you guys will understand what I'm saying. Like I say, knife crime, gun crime, acid attacks, moped crime, fucking prison. Violence is everywhere. And if you are subject to violence as a child, right, what you see growing up and what you experience, right, you become a reflection or a product of that environment, and that is the way it is. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this video here. I've talked too much and stuff. I've opened myself up a little bit here, going back to the old school sort of ways of just talking off the bat through my experiences. I do talk a lot, guys. I do jump from subject to subject, but hopefully you guys can relate to it. If you guys have got any experience of violence in any which way, whether it be a victim of violence, or a victim and then go on to offend through violence and stuff, like I say, you've got to do that. Another thing as well that I need to go into, like, I was crazy. I was a fucking mental kid. I was on the estate and that people like call me like crazy chopper and all that chopper, because it was alleged that I'd go around with machetes and doing bits and blah blah blah. And like I say, I was desensitized and dehumanized and stuff, and I just like was off my trolley, man. And we're all like that. We're all capable of that. So, I mean, like I say, as I got older and stuff, I didn't need to carry weapons and stuff because I can just fight with my fist. But violence is at every corner, guys. And like I say, if you've got any experience of violence, I would love to know in the comment section below. Can you relate to the video? Do you find it strange that I'm speaking like that? I don't know. It's just something different, guys. Breaking up the monotony even of the usual. Let me know what you think, guys. Gonna leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.